You. Well, Whitney Houston, obviously not known just for her voice, but also she was a glamorous diva. Now fans and collectors can bid on some of her most iconic fashion items. She's been added to the list of celebrities whose memorabilia will appear in this month's Hollywood Legends auction in Beverly Hills. Darren Julian is the founder and CEO of Julian's Auction, which is hosting the auction. Nice to have you. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me on, Soledad.
How many items do you have overall of Whitney Houston's for this, and where did they come from? Yeah,
we have approximately 12 items of Whitney Houston's, and they come from, in some cases, friends, family, or people that worked with her, like on the film of Bodyguard, for example.
So you brought some mannequins in with some of the fashion, which we certainly appreciate. It's really fun to see it up close. Let's talk first about this gray dress, which is sort of to my right.
Yeah, this is a gray dress she wore at the pre-Grammy party of Clive Davis in 1996, and we have great photographs of her wearing it with Bobby Brown. You know, Whitney was known for her fashion, so these are items, they're one-of-a-kind items made for Whitney Houston. We estimate, because Whitney's collectability has not really been determined yet, not a lot of her items have come up for auction, so we conservatively estimate these items $1,000 to $2,000 each on the dresses.
A dress like that might actually sell just regularly for $1,000 to $2,000 without having been worn by Whitney Houston to a world-famous, glamorous Hollywood party. What are your genuine expectations for how much money that dress could fetch?
Well, I anticipate that it could sell for $10,000 to $20,000, but it's really, like I said, the market. This is the first time her items have ever come up for auction, so it'll really be, you know, on March 31st, we'll know what her collectability is.
To that right of that dress is this really beautiful velvet purple dress, very, very low cut with the brooch on the waistband.
Yes, another one-of-a-kind dress made for Whitney Houston. She wore it in the 1990s, and it was. We have photographs and video of her wearing it on stage during a performance.
So how critical is that? I mean, obviously part of your job is authenticating that, in fact, something that someone is saying is Whitney Houston's, actually she wore at one point.
That's right. That's a very important part of it. So provenance means everything, where something comes from. Like in the example of the earrings that we have in the auction and the vest from the Bodyguard, those are items that come from her costume designer that worked on the film. And then we also match them up with video, so the patterns on the vest, we match them up to the film to make sure that it's exactly the items that she wore.
If you look at this black velvet dress, which is a third one, which is absolutely stunning, and I wish I fit into anything. What are you expecting that you could get for a dress like that?
Again, you know, we estimate at $1,000 to $2,000, but, you know, I think it'll be surprising to see what her collectability is. An example of, like, Michael Jackson, before his passing, we sold his gloves for $30,000, but after his passing, his gloves now we sell for $300,000 to $400,000.
Wow, wow. So tell me about that dress. Where did you get it from, and where was it seen and worn?
Yeah, that particular dress comes to us from somebody that bought it out of an auction where Whitney was forced to sell some items in 1997. So it was a storage locker here where the bill hadn't been paid. So it comes from that auction, which was her storage unit. So the proceeds go to the person that bought it in that auction.
All right, we'll end on the vest, which is a vest, and I've seen pictures of the vest in the Bodyguard. Will something that's from a movie be more valuable than something worn to a Hollywood party versus something, say, even worn to a concert?
Well, yeah, and it really depends on how iconic a piece is. So the vest, because it was in The Bodyguard, which was her best film she ever did, and it was an amazing film, so we anticipate that that could sell more than the dresses.
What are you expecting to get that?
We estimate that $400 to $600 because it's not as you know, big as a dress and not something that somebody can wear to a party or whatever. But because of its historical significance, we anticipate that it could still sell for thousands.
One has to imagine that if you're going to buy Whitney Houston's vest from The Bodyguard, the movie, you're not going to wear it. You're going to put it somewhere.
That's exactly right. It belongs in a museum.
Mr. Julian, it's nice to have you. Thank you for talking.